Hello and welcome to InSight. I'm Wendy Brokaw.
And I'm Mary Louise Van Atta.
Today we're going to be talking about kids and dirt. All right, kids and gardening. I can't resist because I have just been with the Marion-Polk Food Share Community Gardens program and getting to know about how they're getting kids involved with growing their own food. And the best person I can think of to talk about that today is with Victoria Binning. Hi, Victoria. You were part of that program. What's your job there?
I am the Community Foods Education Coordinator, and I do a lot of things, but most of what I do is after-school garden education at 3 different elementary schools.
Wow. After school. Well, we have, we think of the food share as a place where you go and get food already donated, but this is kind of a change in philosophy, isn't it?
Yeah, it totally is. About 90% of what we do is emergency food distribution. We give out to pantries, and it goes directly to families in need.
Yeah.
But what I get to do, which is, I think, very exciting, is I get to create a community of food. I literally teach students how to grow their own, and through teaching them how to grow food, how to cook food in the garden, influence their families and the communities that they're a part of to really embrace good, nutritious eating.
So what age groups are involved here?
I teach K through 5.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Well, we've come so far from the garden in our society. Probably a lot of kids just think food comes from the grocery store. So you really are teaching them from the beginning instead of does it teach a man to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime?
Yeah.
It's kind of that concept. So tell me about the kids and what you've noticed about them as they're starting to see how food grows.
Oh my gosh, they have a keen imagination for how food arrives at their doorstep most of the time. I mean, I've asked them before and they've said, oh yeah, food comes from the grocery store, food comes from this restaurant. No. Let's think about this. And we had one student, one day we were making pesto in the garden, and we grabbed parsley, because we were making a parsley pesto. We grabbed parsley from the garden, we had garlic that was growing, and the kids went through the entire process of harvesting and chopping and mixing it together and then eating it. And one of the students had the craziest look on his face. And I could tell the wheels were turning and he was making the connection that this pesto that he had made by hand was just as good, if not better, than the stuff that he could get at the store. And he ended up taking like bags full home and telling his mom they were going to eat parsley pesto forever.
But that doesn't sound like it's an unusual reaction that you're coming to expect that from kids once they've learned how to grow something?
Yeah, totally. They get really into it. That same kid comes back every week and takes parsley home so that he can make parsley pesto at home. But other students are doing that as well. A lot of them, because we are interested in not only teaching them about good food, but making sure that they're fed, will take food home with them and experiment with their families.
What do you hope that they'll do once they get the idea of doing this at home? What do you think they're going to have an impact with their families on?
Well, ideally, they will bring the ideas of healthy eating back to their family, take back those cooking skills, and then also their families have a chance to get invested in our community garden program, because we have 53 community gardens throughout Salem and Kaiser, and the garden clubs that I teach are all located within community gardens, so their families can actually have plots at the community gardens that the students are learning at.
Great idea. So the kids can show off, look, this is what I grew, Mom, and Mom could say, well, this is what I grew, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we have one little girl who shows off her family, or was showing off her family's tomatoes this summer, and all the other kids thought it was the coolest thing.
You know,
Wonderful. You were out there, weren't you, at the garden?
I couldn't resist. I asked, can I go out there and just see you people in action? So we got some video of these kids, and they showed me what they were doing, and they had the best time. And I got to see an actual after-school class in operation. Why don't we take a look at that?
Let's.
We're here today at Julie's Garden, which is one of the community gardens that is supported by Marion-Polk Food Share. And this is where kids at Four Corners Elementary School can learn about gardens, can learn about growing fruits and vegetables, and then we'll get the opportunity to try these fruits and vegetables and take some home to their families.
Awesome, let's go! Yeah? Where is it? I always send them on a hunt around the garden to point out something new this week that wasn't here last week. And the kids just, I mean, it's an awesome way to explore the garden, and they always come back with something great.
That orange stuff, that's the carrot. Can I see?
Oh yeah, I see the carrot. This is cabbage and it's for salad.
Show me what it looks like. Come down there. Let me look at it.
The cabbage, it looks like white stuff, but it's all the way in there. It's lettuce. It looks like leaves, and it's kind of like lettuce.
What I like about the garden is you can get your hands dirty and you find roly-polies and ladybugs and worms.
What I grow in my own garden actually right now, I grow carrots, bell peppers, onions, and then flowers that spell out my name.
They're so curious, but they constantly surprise me with what they already know. So why are apples so good for you?
Because they have nutrients.
Nutrients! What's a nutrient? Anyone? Anyone?
Oh, I know.
What?
Vitamins, I think.
Vitamins? Yeah, those are nutrients. They totally did what I wanted them to do. They got from apple to tree to roots to soil to worms. Whoa, check this one out. It's got a little white worm. What end do you think is the front and which end do you think is the back?
How do worms move?
They use their muscles. Part is their muscles and that little sesame right there. It breathes from its whole body. And worms have 0 ears.
I hope tonight these kids will go home and tell their parents about worms. And I hope that when they're at the grocery store, they'll ask their parents to buy apples. I hope that they'll say, can we plant an apple tree and grow our own apples?
But they can also feel confident in their own ability to grow things. Because I'm finding so much that people are afraid of the garden. Like, I can't grow anything. Are you kidding me? What? How do I do that? But these kids have such a genuine curiosity and genuine excitement about the garden, and I just really hope that they can take that on with them.
Those kids are great worms.
Wow.
I love the worms.
They had so much fun.
Wow, that's like kind of the outdoor school concept where you get to go out and really see how the world works.
And you
in
did
real
some
life.
composting there too, and the kids were explaining how you compost. What's the whole vision you have of showing them all these different aspects of gardening and recycling at the same time?
Yeah, it's really giving them a complete perspective of what it takes to grow food, because you don't just have life coming out of the ground, but you also have the plants that die back and the whole life cycle system and the ecosystems that support it. So it's really, you're getting into like good science education here.
Speaking of science, you have a science background?
I do. I just graduated in May with a degree in environmental science from Willamette University.
Go Bearcats.
Go Bearcats! And I utilized that last year when I was teaching environmental science at Highland Elementary. Did the Weber program.
Very well.
If people, parents and teachers want to know how to get involved with your program, how do they do that?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. We're always looking for volunteers to work in the garden clubs, and donations are gladly accepted. You can call us at 503-581-3855 and ask for the gardens department.
And you have a website or a Facebook page?
Yes,
that you
we do. Marion-Polk-Foodshare.org.
Wonderful.
So just go under programs, look under community gardens, and you'll see the youth programs right there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
great.
great.
What a wonderful program.
It does. It sounds like it's really, truly innovative, and it's caught a gear.
Yeah, we're innovating a new future.
As well we should.
Hoping that it will also involve healthy food and ending hunger.
Wonderful. Thank you,
Oh,
Victoria.
thank you
We
so
really
much for
appreciate you
coming in
coming
today, and thank you for joining us today on InSight.
We'll see you next time.